If you're an anime fan, now is the time to sign up for Verve and try it out for free, as they just added High Five as a channel to their lineup where you can get tons and tons of new anime never before seen on Verve, dubbed and subbed from High Five, including shows like Akame ga Kill, Flip Flappers, Food Wars, tons of shows that have never been on Verve before, a part of their platform, High School of the Dead. I mean, you can see it right there on your screen, and they're always adding new stuff. So check out Verve. The link is in the description. Try it out for free right now. Alright, so I am dropping this video on November the 11th, 2018 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on my YouTube channel. Now, as many of you know, there's going to be a private screening of Dragon Ball Super Broly in just a couple of days in Japan for a very small number of people. I believe it's like 2,000 people are going to get to see the film. And at this event in Japan, there will be obviously members of the cast and crew that worked on Dragon Ball Super Broly. That's coming up later this week. Now, what I have obtained here from a private source who is an assistant engineer who is working on one of the Dragon Ball Super dubs outside of Japan. I'm not going to say what country they're from to protect their identity, and I'm not going to give away any more information except that it's somebody who saw parts of this film and has tons of legitimate information about this movie that he gave me, and we're going to get into that now. And thus, there are going to be huge, massive spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Broly in this film. We're going to get into it now. I'm giving you time to click off the video if you don't want to be spoiled. This video is going to have major spoilers for Dragon Ball Super Broly, the movie. Okay? That should be plenty of time. Here we go. This is what I was told. Gogeta versus Broly, which I've been talking about for 3 months. I've been telling you guys that I've had it triple sourced, even more so, is indeed a battle that takes place in this film. It is confirmed 100% Gogeta versus Broly is a thing. And really, it should not surprise you because there's been tons of clues as well as the data mine leaks and, you know, all the stuff that's come out. I independently triple sourced it myself, and I've been telling y'all this for a while, but not only does Gogeta and Broly fight, not only is that a big fight in the movie, but also that Gogeta does have a lot of very similar story beats to what they did in Dragon Ball Z Fusion Reborn. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first of all, I've been told that Veku, the failed fusion of Gogeta, does make an appearance in this film for comic relief. Gogeta does fight Broly at some point in the film, and there's a fight at some point in the movie that is so ridiculously crazy and colorful that it's going to blow your mind. I mean, I was told it's just going to be something that is going to be insane to look at in the movie theater. We've been hearing this for quite some time, so this doesn't really shock you or shock me. But one thing that was said is that, and those of you who have been following my Saturday night updates, you remember something like this being teased, that there's a portion in the film where the fight takes place in another dimension. There's like a hole or something that's ripped. I'm not entirely sure because I haven't seen the movie for myself. But at some point, there is indeed a battle that takes place in some kind of alternate realm. That should tell you how powerful these characters are. Now, want to clarify some other things I was told. What is Piccolo's role in this film? Is Piccolo going to fight? I've been told no. Piccolo's role in this film is, as far as we know, as far as I was told, he is the one who's going to be helping Goku teach Vegeta the fusion pose. So, Vegeta does not know the fusion pose. Goten and Trunks are not the ones who teach it to him. It is Piccolo and Goku who demonstrate the fusion pose for Vegeta. They do the pose, and when they do the pose, they mess it up, but then they get it right. So it's kind of like what they did in Fusion Reborn. Now, moving on. Many of you have asked, well, what about Gotenks? What about Gohan? I didn't get anything about Gotenks. I don't believe he's in the film, but nothing was sent to me about Gotenks. But what was sent to me was about Gohan. Gohan does not fight Broly in this movie. I am unsure if Gohan is even in this film. I don't know. He may make a cameo appearance, but Gohan at no point in this movie gets into a fight with Broly. That's just not going to happen. So if you've been waiting for him to show up at the end or something, that's not what happens. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the end? What happens to Broly? Well, I'm getting there. I was told also that The movie's very funny. There's a lot of humor in the film, which really shouldn't surprise you because Toriyama, writes humor a lot. He's a gag manga artist and writer. But I asked about Beerus. Does Beerus fight Broly? Beerus does not fight Broly in the film. In fact, he doesn't really do anything in the film, except for there's one part in the film where there's a babysitting joke, and that's it with Lord Beerus. Also, Wiese versus Broly. We've been talking about this one all week since the last trailer dropped. Does Wiese fight Broly? Yes. At one point in the film, Wiese fights Broly to distract him, and what ends up happening is Broly is essentially hitting nothing but air. He cannot connect with a shot on Wiese. Wiese is sitting there dodging and laughing at him during the film. So those of you power scalers out there who are looking to see how strong the Angels are, yeah, they're pretty damn strong. But we already knew that. It's just cool to kind of know that. Also, Broly's power does increase higher and higher, and there are no mystery transformations. People have been saying, does Broly go Great Ape or does he go SS4 or something like that? The answer is no. The final form of Broly in this film is the Super Saiyan full power form that we've seen where he's super buff. The one that looks like Legendary Super Saiyan from the old Broly movies. That is his final form that he uses to battle Gogeta in the film. I've also been told that, surprisingly, Bardock does have a lot more screen time than expected. Guinea does indeed speak. I don't have any lines or anything, but the Bardock stuff is surprisingly a bit longer than expected. Now, I'm not really sure what he meant by that, and I might ask him, because I always thought that the Bardock stuff was going to be about 20 minutes, and that's quite some time, but apparently there might be more. Nothing about Bardock coming back to life or anything like that. It's just the backstory that, we had heard. The backstory of Bardock and Minus and all that stuff. So, now, also, the first person to fight Broly in the film is Vegeta. Vegeta is the first one to step up against Broly. And I say that cautiously because this guy didn't see the entire film. So maybe there is some kind of fight before Vegeta, but he's pretty certain that Vegeta is the first guy to fight Broly in the film, and then later on Goku steps up and wants to fight him. Goku is very anxious to fight Broly, and Broly gets more and more and more and more powerful as the film progresses, to the point where I was directly told that this is a bigger power boost than what Frieza got in Resurrection F, which I think is absolutely nuts, that this guy goes from being relatively not that impressive to being extremely impressive by the end of the film. So that's pretty cool to know right there. But it's also interesting to think about that this guy Broly has that much potential. Also, speaking of that, what me and Tragic discussed about how Broly gets exiled and all that stuff, and like the whole King Vegeta like quasi jealousy thing that we talked about a few videos ago, that's apparently true. And the beef, like we had discussed in this film, is absolutely between Paragus and King Vegeta. Broly does not hate Kakarot in the movie because he was crying like in the old Broly movies. That entire thing does not happen in this film whatsoever. In fact, the beef is totally more so based on the parentage than just Broly having a personal problem with Goku. That's not in this film at all. Toriyama has erased that entirely from the story of Broly. Broly is also in this movie a much more sympathetic character and one that the audience will relate to when they see this film. So that whole like Broly being a devil like he was in the previous movies, in movie 1 and when he just killed people for fun, that does not appear to be Broly in this film. Now, remember how a lot of us were wondering if they were going to retcon Vegeta's age to be the same age as Goku and Broly? And the answer is no. Vegeta is older than Goku and Broly in this film, and there are scenes of Vegeta and Raditz together in this movie. But it's not a shot-by-shot adaptation of Dragon Ball Minus. There is extra stuff here as well. Also, there is a huge bait and switch with Frieza involving what he wants with the Dragon Balls. Now, obviously, in the original Dragon Ball Z, Frieza wanted to be immortal. In this movie, Frieza has a different wish that he wants. I'm not saying he gets the wish, but he wants a certain wish, and it is not immortality, but it is supposed to be a gag. He didn't tell me what it was, though. Now, let's get to the big finale, the end of the movie, Dragon Ball Super Broly. Does Broly die? Does Broly win? What happens? So, I'm not entirely sure if there is more after this scene, because this guy is working on an international dub of this show and is not, he didn't see the entire film. He didn't see the whole thing. He's just helping out. He's an assistant. But basically, from what I understand, the climax of the film goes as follows. Gogeta's about to finish off Broly, and it looks like he's about to lose. And then Chile, you know, the new orange girl, Chile wishes to the dragon that Broly be saved, and she ends up saving Broly. She ends up getting him out of there so that Gogeta cannot finish him off. The idea behind this, as far as I understand, is not so much that it's a romantic storyline, but it's more so that she feels sympathy for Broly because of his hard life that he's had. That's why he's all scarred up and everything, and that's why she saves him. So at the end of the film, Chile will save Broly. And as far as what they do with those characters in the future, that remains to be seen. But that really tells me, and again, what I'm about to tell you is more so my speculation, not what was told to me directly, but it tells me that they're not done with Broly. Because if she saved him, there is more story to be told when it comes to Broly and Chile and where this story can go in the future of Dragon Ball Super, whether it be another movie or a TV series or whatever. Whatever they do, it appears like her saving him is the beginning of something versus it being the end of Broly. So, as far as I know, Broly does indeed survive, and Broly fans are going to be very happy because their favorite character, if it is their favorite character, has a lot more layers to him in this movie, and he's a lot more interesting. At least that's what I was told. I will try to get more information, but that's pretty much all I got. Again, we will have full spoilers coming out this week. An entire synopsis will be online at some point from somebody in Japan. I'm sure our translators will get to it, and we'll have the entire story of Broly out this week without question, because the showing is just in a couple days in Japan. So someone's going to start talking. So there you go. If you are new here, subscribe for the most accurate Dragon Ball news that I could possibly provide for you. I'm doing the best that I can. And subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever my videos go up so you can watch them and hopefully be entertained and have a good time. So thank you guys. I love you so much. And we'll talk way more about this as the weeks go by. But to me, I don't really have an opinion on it, to be honest. Let's wait and see how it plays out in the actual theater and how it looks. So far, though, a lot of the praise has been the way it looks and how beautiful it is, so I look forward to seeing that with my own eyes. I have not seen it yet, but I think it'll be cool. Thank you. Talk to you soon.